Yeah. That's a lot of checking in, and I'm spreading a little song. You know, like on this journey, this journey, Joe. Like you gonna meet some, not well, you gonna meet some things, like of course, but going through it and shit like that, learning from it is like the best thing. But today I'll be talking about the word of mouth and the power of it. See, like the things that you say has so much power to it. It's not what you say; it's how you say it too. Because like the word and shit like that, like a lot of niggas be like, oh, this is how you say, or that word is not right. Oh, it's like it's Malakuf, not Malakif. Like like nigga, who gives a fuck? You get the fuck I'm saying though. So like that goes to say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's how you say things. Cause if a motherfucker didn't understand how you said it, he want to correct you or some shit like that, or whatever. But if you incline, or if you a broader type of spirit, you pick it up. But that goes to say on the power of mouth. The things that you say and how you say it really has power, and it affects yourself, your mood, your environment, and shit like that. Like anybody that's like introvert or that don't speak that much, or you don't have to be introvert. Just don't be talking for like the whole day. When you don't talk for the whole day, you gonna have like a lot of thoughts running through your head, and that's cool and not cool at the same time. Like it's either or. It is what it is. But you wanna sanitize your space, clean your space, and that goes with meditation. Meditation is like a spiritual bath, spiritual cleansing, sanitation, and shit like that. But I'm gonna scoot that off to the side. It's about the power of mouth. It's gonna connect soon, but little narrator shit. But the power of mouth, like just going back to with you not saying anything, or in the introverts or any people that don't talk that much, don't say it for nothing the whole day. And then when you say something, I would say just say it. When I did it, I said something negative because I did like a test, like let me see what's going on. Subconsciously, I didn't like subconsciously I was just doing it, but consciously like I knew I was doing and I was saying it, but my intentions was not like trying to cause an effect. Like I was just like talking my shit. But try to say something, and when you say it, see how your mood affects, see how your environment changes or whatever. And when I like going back to me, like when I did it, I noticed how the things change and how the things are attracted to me. Cause like me, I was like really saying shit negative, like some negative shit, quote unquote negative shit. And I noticed like how the environment does, and even like the people, the spirits and shit like that, they more attracted to negative shit. So like if you just go outside, say shit, fuck, damn, piss, nigger, all like just start cussing and shit like that, which is not bad, but like most of the world signatures that as negative when you cuss and shit like that, so they're gonna attract to it. So when you start doing that, notice how the environment change, know how your mood change, and it's like a subtle change. You gotta be hip to it, inclined to it, and shit like that. And that goes connects with meditation, sanitizing your space, cleansing yourself, and hygiene. Because if you're not hygienic, you're not gonna notice like different blemishes, different stenches, and different dirtiness and shit like that. It says to a person that's clean, it's like you wash your ass and shit like that. You gonna know if you stink. You gonna notice different smudges and shit like that compared to if you don't wash your ass. You're not gonna notice different smudges and shit. So that goes to say, meditation and hygiene, and just take care of yourself. And connecting to that, you're gonna notice how things change, and it's just subtle. And it might not be subtle, depending on but that goes to say the power of mouth. Things of what you say and how you say it too. It really affects. And it affects like your environment, the function of the universe and shit. Like, like cause like the how people try to portray the universe is like some type of god or some shit. Like, nah, nigga, like you gotta take accountability. Like you help out the universe, and it's teamwork makes the dream work. Shout out to all the individual people that are being themselves and shit like that. Like we put on, but like it's like we spaced out and shit like that. Because to be honest, it's like a ratio, a percentage level of people that are programmed and shit like that, which takes majority of the world compared to the people that's individual. So it plays a small percentage. So like the people that's actually like putting their foot down and like being themselves and then actually like what Dolo said, shout out to Dolo, shout out to Soul Group. Um, Business, education, politics, entertainment, music. So if you put your boots down in those type of fields and shit like that, you really change shit compared to the people that's just, programmed. Like they go what's trending and shit like that. But that goes to say the people that's individual is we have like a lower percentage level, but that don't mean shit. Like for the percentage and calculations, it's just about you doing your purpose and shit like that, just being yourself. But you still like we still put in like the work in and shit like that. But it mainly I'm trying to say like teamwork makes the dream work. Most of the people that are like not themselves and they like to be comfortable in what's going on, what's trending, which is weak ass motherfuckers. Teamwork is dream work. I'm basically like that. I'm cause I ain't trying to be all worried and shit like that. But teamwork is dream work, which makes up the universe and shit like that. So that's why it seems like whenever you try to do something or whatever, it might not seem like to the fullest potential, whatever, because it's other niggas and shit like that that's like causing that too. But that doesn't mean that you don't be. That means you don't put your work in and shit like that. You still put effort and try. But also that connects with you not saying nothing. Okay. So when you don't say nothing for the whole day, you notice how the mind chatter you have in your head, that's also another level. Like it goes levels to levels to levels and shit like that. And like fuck the levels, it's just different different spaces of awareness and shit like that. So when you talk and shit like that, that's unit space right now. Like unit space when you talk, and then when you're not talking, you different space. So when you don't talk and whatever, you notice how you have different type of stimuli in your head, which is like, thoughts and feelings. So when you cut that off, you notice how things change on a broader level or in a broader viewpoint. And it's even more in depth because when you talk, it actually affects the environment on a depth. And then when you don't talk, it like goes like beyond. And that does put like the aquarium. Cause like we basically like in the aquarium, like cause like atmosphere and shit like that. So like think of an aquarium. So like how the fishes like blow bubbles and shit like that. Like that's you talking, and then when you don't talk, you actually like pretend like you a fish, just close your eyes and shit like that. Like when you don't talk, whatever, you don't have no type of thoughts and feelings. You entered a way like broader depth of like I don't like to use awareness or consciousness because that's like a fiend, but like you closer to nothingness. Let's say that we're close to nothingness, where you connected to all possibility because all possibilities. Nobody can be all possible, but like be a vessel, use a vessel of possibility. But like you're closer to nothingness, so you're able to notice many things, and then when you notice it, just don't notice it. You actually take action to it, and then you also talk about it. And I know some people don't like it, but like that goes off track. But like basically, I'm saying like when you don't say nothing, whatever, you closer to nothingness, and you be used as a vessel for all possibilities. And that's also powerful too because when you've been used for a vessel for all possibilities, you able to do more things. Like just say like a person that's like really like trying to have a desire for like something. When that person have a desire for something, when you closer to nothingness, you able to do that easier because the person that's actually trying to do that shit like 10 times harder, you actually do that shit like just eat it like a little motherfucking stick and shit like that because you close to nothingness. And that goes with thoughts and feelings because you can have a thought, right? Like, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And when you detach from that, it becomes attracted to you and shit like that because it's like and that correlates with the universe, like the mechanism, like the law of attraction and shit. And the universe doesn't run us, we run the universe, but it just takes work on yourself. But yeah, like the thoughts and feelings that we have, everybody has thoughts and feelings, and some people don't know how to manage it as a spirit, and they get lost into it. And that goes with the person that have the desire to do this and do that and do this and do that. And then when you close to nothingness, all those thoughts and feelings that you have and shit like that, it affects your environment and it affects your mood and then how you do things, which it correlate connects with you being used as for all possibilities. And I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say, or understand what I'm trying to say, because when I talk and shit like that, I don't be going linear. Like I just be jumping and shit like that. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. Like okay, let's sum it up. One, the power of mouth, and two, not saying nothing, and sanitizing your space and being close to all possibilities. Those things work because it does with the air element. Cause like even though you're not talking verbally, you still thinking, like you still having like communication in your head inside internally. And that does with that the aquarium and Aquarius and shit like that, da 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 da. But yeah, like you be close to all possibility because compared to the person that has like a stronger desire, like yeah, desire is needed, but like you want to have equilibrium balance, because when you too much in desire, you all you see is red and shit like that. And that's really get into the demonic world. Like I get that being in a demonic world, but you still make use of it. Like play both sides and shit like that, where you become like like really like a scientist and shit. Like you start to play with this, you start to play with that, like a little motherfucking chef in the kitchen and shit like that. Like, oh yeah, like I like this, I like this. Take this out. Yeah, not too much of that. Not too much of this. Yeah, I like that and shit like that. Like you cook in a stew and shit. You be the alchemist. But yeah, that goes all to say, like watch what you say and how you say it, and don't be too geeked up on like what you say and shit like that. Don't be like, oh, like I can't say this, I can't say it. Like nah, like just test it out and shit like that. Take breaks where you don't say nothing for the whole day, and it's good to communicate and talk. And that also goes with eating too. Like balance your diet. Like some days you don't have to eat, and some days it's good to eat. Fasting and shit like that. But yeah, that goes for the video. The power of mouth, and also the power of not saying nothing, being close to nothingness. Yeah.